Don't say nothing, it won't be nothing. Dump in the mall. If you ain't got nothing, don't say nothing, it won't be nothing. Dump in the mall. If you can't do nothing, don't say nothing, it won't be nothing. Dump in the mall. And if you ain't got nothing, don't say nothing, it won't be nothing. Dump in the mall. I keep it underground, hardcore. Every verse I write a bar for. I got you listening for bar for. I poke audio hard through. What's up, y'all? Welcome to the library with Tim Einenkel. Back once again. Once again, we go outside the library to the studio with DJ Newmark, formerly known from Jurassic 5. Make sure to check me out on Twitter. That's Kosher22, Kosher22. Also, check out www.rapstation.com. This is the library with Tim Einenkel. One thing I was actually really curious about is when we were exchanging emails today, you said you're in the studio all day. So I kind of want to know, just for our audience, what does that mean? Like, what are you doing that, like, normally people have a 9-to-5 job, blah, blah, blah. What's your day like in the studio?
Well, lately it's been, I'm doing a remix right now for Aloe Black, for a guy named Wax Taylor. He has Aloe on his project, and so I'm doing a remix for that. And I did one remix and I didn't like it, so I scrapped it and started all over again. So I'm in the middle of starting the second remix for Aloe. And so that's that. But then, like, most of I'd say all of last week, really, I was working on the music for a motion picture, Sony film. I'm doing, like, the background music for a film on Sony right now.
Oh, nice.
It's called Battle of the Year, and it's like centered around breakdancers. It's not a documentary or anything. It's like a real motion picture. So it's like my first real swing at doing some music at a motion picture. So I think in the last 2 weeks I've become a better producer from all the edits and craziness that I had to do just for the movie.
Oh, nice.
But, so those two projects, and then, of course, my album I'm finishing up last-minute mix downs for the last single of Broken Sunlight, which is my album for this year.
And I definitely want to talk about Broken Sunlight a little bit. But first, actually, I know it's been a while, but, I was introduced to you because I was a huge fan of Jurassic 5.
Okay.
And I watched you guys in concerts. So, one thing I appreciate is when you and Cut Chemist would just kind of DJ back and forth.
Oh, right on.
Was really. I'm a pretend DJ in my mind, but it was very, very, very cool, very inspiring. And one thing I was wondering is, I know when you're in a group, you have that. There's always that group dynamic. Like, you're able to bounce ideas off of each other.
Yeah.
Now that you're independent, how does that work? I mean, how do you know? If one of an idea sticks, but two, like, when is something complete?
You don't. You really don't. It's one of the things I really miss about being in my group, and I've always considered myself more of a team player, and I don't care to have the spotlight or be the guy in the forefront at all. I like to hide behind my hat in the back, behind an MPC or turntables or whatever. I don't really like being in the front. And, like, I'm more of a kind of guy, like I said, like, I like to be a team player, and I like to bounce ideas off of people, and here's the baton, go with it, next man go, so. But now it's different. It's strengthened me again, because I have to really trust my instinct and go with my gut, So to answer your question, there really is no way for me to know unless I play for some homies or if it just really hits me, and I don't, care what people think. If I'm just like, oh, okay, then I know I like this no matter what people think, then it is what it is, because, at the end of the day, if you're not happy with it, then,
right.
What's the use of doing it?
I kind of want to continue with this Jurassic 5 kind of the group, just the group, really more of the group setting, the group dynamic. Is it as a DJ, is it easier for you to kind of play off of the MC, or was it, and for this example, was it easier for you to kind of play off of Cut Chemist?
Well, that group in particular was a real melting pot of everybody's ideas, so it's really both, because we would kind of set the tone for the beats in the studio as well as the live show, and the MCs would kind of follow the beats, and for the most part, 90% of the time, I guess. And then Cut and I would feed off of each other during the breaks or DJ solos or bridges and breakdowns and stuff like that where we needed to enhance the dynamics of the show or whatever. So yeah, it was really good, friendly competition within the group because it was like Cut and I kind of competing, and then the MCs competing with each other, but it was all geared towards one goal, and that's providing, the most energetic music for the people,
Right. Was there anything that you wished you were able to accomplish with J5 before you guys broke up, or?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say, mainstream radio play, tell you the truth, because, I don't know, we used to say this to people in interviews or homies or fans or whatever, and they'd be like, oh, why do you want to sell out? And they would kind of, place it in that category, but I don't think they understood that when we grew up, we heard all the dopest joints on the radio, and that was K-Day here in L.A., and K-Day used to break, Public Enemy and De La Soul and Juice Crew and Native Tongue and, the whole nine. It was just a really creative time. And I think J5 kind of had it, we kind of had it in our heads that, wow, it'd be really great to be on the radio like we heard our heroes on the radio. Yeah, so it'd be that. But that said, that wasn't our main goal. To answer your question, it would have been a nice accomplishment.
Now, I want to go into your current project, Broken Sunlight.
Okay.
Kind of, if you could explain, how did the project come about, and why call it Broken Sunlight?
Broken Sunlight came about from all the cracks and fractures and breakups in my life. Really, my group broke up, my long-term relationship broke up. The music industry seemed to be kind of breaking up, and Napster kind of took over, and the economy definitely broke down. And so, Broken Sunlight kind of represents, me being, I guess, broken or fractured, but I'm still sunlight. I'm still forging ahead towards the light, really. And it's just kind of a tale of, forging ahead through crazy-ass times, man, because these are, the music industry doesn't even resemble what it used to be when I started. So, and I was only signed for 7-8 years with J5, and we were a group for I think 11 or 12 years. So within that time, the complexion of the industry just completely changed, man. It blows my mind when I think about that. No, you're not really going to sell music anymore. It's basically what it's coming down to, unless you're a pop act, of course.
Right, of course.
But, yeah, it kind of blows me away. So, yeah, Broken Sunlight that's why I call it Broken Sunlight, man. It's just moving ahead, really. So
when this project is complete, is that the end of kind of the dark days for you, or is this kind of, would there be a part 2, I guess, of the series, or?
I don't know, man. That's a good question. I thought about doing a part 2, but I've always, even though I was in J5, I've always had an attraction to dark music or darker concepts. Even though people kind of saw us as a live, energetic, kind of like a party group or whatever, or not a party group, but paying homage to old school and
right.
lively group. I've always liked kind of darker beats and into melodic progressions and stuff like that. So I don't know production-wise if I'm going to change to a happier tone, if that's what you're asking me. But I don't think I'm going to do Broken Sunlight Part 2, but I'll do something in the dark realm, I'm sure, in the future.
So it seems like this, in a weird way, this kind of album is more therapy for you, or kind of
yeah. It's therapy in the way that I'm getting the concept, out of me, but also I'm getting a chance to work with a lot of MCs and singers and musicians that I never would have had a chance to get to, collaborate with. So that part's, I think, more the therapy than anything else, because, like I said before, I get to learn a lot, and it's a real honor to work with a lot of these people. So it's great.
When you decide to, hang up the turntables. Whenever that is, hopefully not soon. What do you want your legacy to be?
You know what? I don't ever want to hang up the turntables, which is a funny. I've been getting this question asked me kind of recently, like, what's going to be after this or after music. But I really want to be that dude that walks into a spot with some 45s and my cane and rock, just like B.B. King rocks or any of the classic musicians. I think one of the crutches we have in hip hop is that we tend to put an expiration date on our artists,
right,
the MCs and the DJs, because it's viewed as such a young sport, such a young genre of music, which it is. But I'm versed in music from the 60s and 70s, and I just think it would be dope if I was an old man and I walked in and killed it still.
That would be pretty dope.
That's how I look at it. I'm not looking at a time when I want to end. I don't think that's a nice goal to shoot for. I think it's more important for me to shoot for, like I always have, is the marathon instead of the sprint, And I'm not really, who said it from Wu-Tang? Was it Raekwon? I was like, I'm not trying to hop in and hop out or whatever he says on one of those skits. He spoke to me on that. I'm not trying to hop in and hop out. I'm doing this for the long haul, and I'm trying to contribute something. So when I'm dead and gone, my music will, be around, and people can say, "Oh, wow, this guy was on some other,"
Right.
So, yeah, I'm sure I'll be chilling a lot more when I'm older, but I always want music around me. It's an endless maze, and I'll never be a master of it. So that's what makes it intriguing.
DJ Newmark, thanks so much for joining us today on The Library with Tim Einenkel and You Don't Stop with Chuck D.
Thank you for having me, fellas.
That was DJ Newmark. Make sure to check him out on www.unclenu.com. That's www.unclenu.com. This is Tim Einenkel with The Library. Peace.
Brick out here, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you better bundle up. We living in the cold world, even in the summertime. And I ain't talking about the Fahrenheit, nah. I'm talking how the life ain't fair, and the height of the fear. Keep hiking here and there, from there to here. Back then I had a grin from ear to ear. Now the corn price triple per ear, triple your fear. Can't afford to get my head gassed up, let alone my whip. I need a loan just to go round trip. And there's a war going on and nobody is safe, cause the thieves in the night still hitting your safe with the cameras on blast. See this look on my face? For security I'm feeling like my freedom's replaced. While your cup running over, all I want is a taste. I ain't trying to stay sober cause things are so sobering. God knows what makes rain and what brings your harebrained schemes and things, man.
A star shining brighter than before. Tomorrow, no trouble knocking at your door.
We living in the cold world, especially in the summertime. No, I ain't talking about the Celsius, nuh-uh. I'm talking how the cells keep swelling with felons and sad felons that didn't use their melon and suffer for what they selling. And the cell phones keep excelling. They even got XL word with quick time. You can hear a quick rhyme and YouTube Scorsese's whole cutting room floor. Check the score and the score's more. Things like this we couldn't do even one score in one day before. Not to mention all the law. So with the future so bright, you gotta wear shades to contrast the shadows. Prepare for battle that takes place daily in your hearts and minds. Distractions keep you outflanked. Don't let your head have your brain outranked. You picked a gunfight, bring more than your shank, cause ain't nobody shooting blanks.
A star shining brighter than before. Tomorrow, no trouble knocking at your door. Tonight, a star shining brighter than before. Tomorrow, here comes trouble knocking at your door.
We living in the cold world, like the day after tomorrow. The day before yesterday, we could have borrowed time and been fine with some peace of mind. But now the last minute is spent with such sorrow. And various theorists claim it's the age of Aquarius. Now hear this era might be the scariest. We near this brink of being extinct and yet still pushing on so precarious. The mystery God, he probably watching people like reality TV. It's so hilarious. So much drama and the folks claiming more of high ground get found living foul and nefarious. I'm still trying to ride the road less traveled without catching the flat from all of that gravel. And new marks a spot to connect the dots with kick snares and hi-hats. I lick shots just like that.
A star shining brighter than before. Tomorrow, no trouble knocking at your door. Tonight,
y'all. J Live, Uncle No. Once again, you know what I'm saying? NY to wherever you at.